Hello, my name is Joseph Korzinski with Hourglass Tree Farms, and today I'll be flipping our compost again and talking about farming life. All right, we're back in the studio now. Looks like we are setting up our camera so we can get a pretty good shot. I wanted to get a more of a zoomed out shot this time for you guys. This is our third time flipping this compost. It has sank down. When we first started these piles, the pile on the right did fill up the complete stall when we first made it, so it has decomposed probably about 60%, is what I'm thinking. That's normal for compost. You never get what you put in out of it. It's always the microorganisms are going to eat everything and pretty much recycle it down into a usable form for your growing needs. In order to do that, though, it needs to heat up. It needs to kill all the pathogens. You have to have the anaerobic bacteria go to work on it, or the aerobic bacteria go to work on it. We try to stay away from the anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic would mean that it prefers an environment that has no air. So we aerate our compost piles by flipping them. We always flip them at least once a week. This was, I believe, 5 days after the last flip. It's been pretty warm out here, and we've had really hot piles, so I do not mind flipping it whenever it needs flipped. You have to do it when the time is right. If it overcooks, you're going to be just wasting time. You need to mix your pile thoroughly so that your whole pile cooks. So if your pile is sitting there for a long time and just the middle will be cooking. So you want to make sure you bring the outsides to the middle. You want to bring your top on. You want to put your top on the bottom whenever you're flipping it. I make sure to mix very, very well. And also keep in mind that you are turning this pile, so you're taking the outsides in and the insides out. And we do this 4 times, I believe, in the next within a month. So we will have 1 more flipping video, maybe 2 more flipping videos for this. This is going to be a series of just us flipping compost that is made from vegetable matter. So this is going to be green vegetable matter and an assortment of browns. When we're done doing this compost video, stay tuned. We will be doing a compost video with biochar next. We will be doing pretty much a bokashi type style biochar compost. So we are going to be adding, well, you guys will just have to stay tuned for that. It's going to be level 2 composting. So this is pretty much a level 1 composting. You don't need any inputs besides your greens and your browns. We're not doing any spraying on this. And we're showing you the effects of what you do whenever you don't have any alternative inputs that you're putting in. So I mentioned before that we use Korean natural farming. Korean natural farming, you make all your own inputs from scratch, and there are some very powerful inputs that will accelerate your compost pile. Hopefully the weather kind of stays pretty warm so that we have a baseline of temperature that we can compare them both to, but I believe it's going to be a little bit colder. So whenever it's colder, your compost is not going to heat up as fast, obviously. The ambient temperature does play a part. It will heat up and stay pretty hot in the winter, though, if you get it right. We're going to be doing a video on keeping your greenhouse warm in the winter with compost. So we're going to be making a compost pile in the winter, and we're going to be putting it into the back of our greenhouses that we have back there and trying to keep them warm passively with just compost heat, as well as an alternative. We're going to be using some propane more than likely when it gets very, very cold, as we do grow vegetables for the schools, and we are full-time farmers, so in the wintertime we would like to eat. That would be fun. But anyways, I digress. Looks like I got my first stall flipped here. I'm working on this would be our 3-week-old pile now. So technically, the pile on the left is when we made that pile. We made our first video. So this is the third installment. So that compost is now not exactly 21 days old. In this video, is 19 days old. So in 19 days, you can see the breakdown of everything. The one on the left was not completely full, but the one on the right was completely full when we first made the compost. So you'll see the decomposition that occurs when you're doing that. It really, really, sinks down a lot. That's normal. But I'm very impressed with this compost at this point. No inputs added, just making sure our ratios are fine, and it's taking off. I believe mainly that is due to the small particle size that we've achieved through the chipper. The chipper does very, very well. You can see here I'm just getting at it pretty well. I'm just wanting to get it done. It's about 95 degrees out today, so I'll go through and I'll smooth it out. And we are currently doing classes on KNF. We are also trying to organize a new market for our community. Our community can't seem to get it together as far as having, like one marketplace, having a market that's local. We have a lot of resellers of food. They drive and go pick up vegetables from who knows where. They say the Amish, but yeah, the quote-unquote the Amish. But the Amish does not mean that they don't use pesticides and everything else as well, and who knows who their peers are as well. So we are trying to get a market based upon integrity, and we're also trying to get the community together. So I'm going to be putting out flyers to try to get our community to sponsor or host events in tandem with each market that I believe would be really special. It's something this community needs. It needs something more cohesive. We can all come together over disc golf or any kind of community event that we can do. We can do like a disc golf training. I'm thinking a karaoke, maybe an open mic karaoke day. I'm hoping that we can really make something with this market that we're doing, and also bring folks out. And also I'm going to be doing free classes at the library on why we do regenerative agriculture and why we do everything that we do. There's so much that goes into how I've thought through my farm and engineering it so that it's pesticide free as well as chemical free and also fertile. It takes a lot. You can see I'm putting my pitchfork down on the left where the ant pile was, covering that bad boy up. That ant pile did survive. If you guys watched video 2, you would know that I ran into some ants. They're pretty bad this time of year. We do use a neem oil that we we boil some water in our steam kettle, and then we mix a shot glass of neem oil and about a half a shot glass of soap into a 3-gallon sprayer, and then fill that sprayer up. And that neem oil is cold pressed from a tree in India, and it makes bugs kind of stop eating. It does, if a bug is in a certain cycle, it will, like a larval stage or a after the nymph stage, I believe they inhibit the actual molting. So it's a bio chemical. It's not really an insecticide. It's not really a pesticide. It actually just manipulates their growth cycle and also their feeding habits. But neem oil is completely safe. Anyways, we're pretty much done with the compost flipping. You always want to water it down. I make sure I get field capacity. It has been drying out just a little bit on the edges, but I'm really monitoring the moisture content at this level. At this stage, you don't want it to get too wet. It will stop And also you don't want it to get dry. It will stop making. At this point I'm just putting some leaves on there and covering it up so that if it does rain really heavily, most of the rain will shed off instead of going into my pile and making it too wet. But that's about it. Stay tuned for compost flip number 4. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. You all have a great day. There will be no extra clip at the end of this though, but thank you.